for this thing. All you bitches best to know my name. Don't worry, you hoes, I'm coming from South Park. Catch you after dark, I'ma spit your fucking chest apart. Follow you. So I let them hang when I pull this thing. All you bitches best to know my name. Don't worry, you hoes, I'm coming from South Park. Catch you after dark, I'ma spit your fucking chest apart. Follow you. So I let them hang when I pull this thing. All you bitches best to know my name. Don't worry, you hoes, I'm coming from South Park. Catch you after dark, I'ma spit your fucking chest apart. Follow you.
to relax and take notes. Niggas need to wake up. Niggas need to relax and take notes. Niggas need to wake up. Niggas need to relax and take notes.
What's up, everybody? Happy Sunday. Welcome to Cannon Speaks. I am Cannon Hotep. I appreciate you guys hanging out with me today. Give yourselves a round of applause because I'm happy you joining me. You know, you could be anywhere right now, but you're hanging out with me, and I appreciate it. Anyway, so let's get to it. There's a video that's been circulating on social media of some dumbass trying to rob a taco shop in Texas, and he fucked around and found out, right? So the question has been stirring: is this guy a vigilante? Was this guy justified in turning this person's lights out, or was he in the wrong? And we're going to discuss that. We're definitely going to discuss that. But first, if you're new, hit that like, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification icon. It'll let you know when I got new content coming out. Please share this stream, let people know we're live. If you're catching the replay, leave a comment. Let me know what you think of the topic at hand. The question of the night is, do you think that the taco shop vigilante was justified or not? Was it a good shoot? Was it a bad shoot? Let me know. All right, so check it, right? We're going to discuss it. I'm going to give you my synopsis of it. You know, you may agree with me, you may not agree with me, but we're going to see what we got here, right? Maybe I'll start doing more shooting breakdowns, maybe more police breakdowns, stuff like that. We'll see how this one goes. Also, if you would like to donate to the channel, super chats are always welcome. Rumble rants are always welcome. Or you can donate directly to my Cash App, $Cannon Hotep, because this video will most likely be definitely demonetized. It will most definitely be demonetized. I'd be shocked if I get one dime from YouTube. So like I said, super chats, Rumble rants, or you can donate directly to my Cash App, $Cannon Hotep, or become a member of the A1s. Become an A1 member. Right at the bottom of your screen, if you're watching on YouTube, you can join the A1 Army, the Cannon Hotep Army, for like a cup of coffee a month. I think it's like $2.99 a month. Hit that join button. Anyway, we got Jay Polon in the building. What's going on, Jay? He said 2A salute. I appreciate you. Tyler Durden is a stupid name. Said he definitely made sure. Oh yeah, he more than double tapped, didn't he? He more than double tapped, but we're gonna get into it. Also, we're gonna take it over to Rumble for a little more in-depth conversation about these athletes, man. These athletes are dropping younger and younger, man. What the hell is going on? You know what I mean? So stick around for that as well. We got Reaction PR with the $1.99 super chat. I appreciate you, bruh. He said, where the 6-shooter at? That's up in the safe now. I put it in the safe. So we'll see. And you see, Cremoni says manslaughter, where the guilty was wrongfully killed by a victim who overreacted. Now we're gonna get to it. Let's get to this. 1 second, y'all. First, let me get this out the way. Graphic content ahead. The views and opinions expressed are solely my own and do not represent the views of YouTube or Hotep Nation. Viewer discretion is advised. Graphic content. So let's go. All right, so we're picking up right here off where gentleman right here in the black, this is the robber. This is the guy that came in to stick up the taco shop, right? This gentleman here in the gray is our vigilante here. He's the guy that decided to take action. So let's get to it. So you see he dropping money all over the place. We see the gun here in his hand. The gun here in his hand. He's waving the gun around all willy-nilly. He's pointing the gun at our vigilante here. You'll see him pointing at this person here. And what we'll do is we're gonna mute this part here. Use your imaginations. Bow, bow, bow. Puts him down. Bow, bow, bow. Puts him down. Bow, bow. Picks up the gun. One last bow. He secures the gun. He looks around. It looks like he well, before the video ended, like he told this person here to I guess call 911 or something. So okay, let's go through this. We'll go through this step by step. We're gonna pause and all this shit. He says Somali pirate trigger discipline. All right, so first we got a unstable person in all black robbing the store, right? Let's just say he's robbing the taco shop. He has ill intent toward the people in this store because he wants to take what they have for his own. Okay? He's waving a gun around. We don't know what his mental state is, right? He could shoot anybody at any moment, right? In our minds, we don't know what's going on. He could shoot any of us at any moment. You got people on the floor. They're afraid. They're scared. So he points the gun here at our vigilante, right? Let me start. At our counter shooter, let's just say, right? Our quote counter shooter or our hero. We'll call him our hero for right now. He points the gun at our hero, right? As soon as he gets past the hero, boom, boom, boom. Okay? Now, he hits the ground, right? Now, some people say, well, once he hit the ground, the fight was over. The fight was over. No, the fight wasn't over, right? Because we don't know what kind of energy that guy still has in his system. His adrenaline is still pumping. Understand that, right? You shoot until the threat is stop, right? You shoot until the threat is stop. Okay? You shoot until the threat is stop. Now, he did hit the ground, but he could still reach for that gun and still fire back at our patron, at our customer, right? Okay. So he's down. The customer keeps shooting. Okay. Now the customer's point blank range at this point, right? The customer is point blank range at this point. Now it's safe to say, in my opinion, that the shooter is, or the robber is, he's incapacitated. He ain't doing shit else anymore, right? He's done, right? It's done. It's over for him. Okay. Now, again, our shooter keeps shooting. He picks up the gun and then he fires one last shot into the robber. Okay. Now let's unpack this. What do I think? I think you play stupid games, you win stupid prizes. You walked up in a taco shop, you wanted to rob these people, you robbed these people, you're pointing a gun at them, you're scaring the hell out of them, you're intimidating them, they fear for their life. Our patron with the handgun feared for his life, you pointed the gun at him last, and he laid you down. My opinion, good riddance. His lights needed to be turned out. He was not a productive citizen of society. He clearly didn't care about their well-being in the store. He clearly was out for self. And he got caught slipping. He got caught slipping. The minute he walked in that door to rob those people, he forfeited his right. Any rights that he had to live, should something had happened to him. Let's just say he got there and he took the place hostage and the police showed up. They'd have laid his ass down too. Or how many bullets the police would have put in his ass? What do you say? 3 or 4 cops showed up, lit his ass the fuck up. 17 rounds apiece. He'd have caught more than them 10. Right? That's my opinion on that. Right? Now, let's go to the law side of it, right? Because that's just my opinion. He got what was coming to him. Right? But let's go to the law part of it, okay? Now, I'm gonna just go according to how it is here in Maryland and most states. Okay? Now, did he defend the lives of other people? Yes, he did. Our customer defended the lives of other people, right? Not just himself. He defended the lives of 1, 2, 3, 4, right? And whoever was in the back. 5, right? 5 people in there that could have caught a bullet from our assailant, right? Good on him. Now, it can be argued that he was still moving, so I shot him till he wasn't moving anymore. He could do that, right? However, I would argue to say that these shots here and that final blow is what's going to get our customer here in trouble. We don't know if the assailant was leaving. We don't know if he was leaving. He could have been leaving, but we don't know because he was still waving that gun around, wasn't he? He was still waving that gun around. We don't know if he was leaving. Our customer put some shots on target. He hit the ground. He put a couple more shots, but it's when he got up close, right? It's when he got up close. And he fired those shots into him. Not only when he got him close, is when he grabbed the gun, because even those can be justified, right? Adrenaline was pumping. I wanted to make sure he wasn't moving. It's when he got up close up on him, grabbed the gun, and then popped him. That could be ill intent. That could be malice. That could be looked at as manslaughter. So check it, right? That gentleman saved the lives of 5 people in a taco shop, possibly. They were robbed. You had a robber in there pointing a gun, waving it around. We don't know if he was going to shoot anybody. We don't know. For all we know, the gun might not even have been real. It might not even have been a real gun. But it doesn't matter. He had an intent on putting people's lives in danger. He had an intent on robbing these people. And he was met with force. Salute to that man who took out that robber. However, in the eyes of the law, he may have used excessive force. In the eyes of the law, you shoot until the target is subdued. This guy took it a step further, in my opinion. Do I have any sympathy for the robber? No, I don't. You brought that on yourself. But what I do have sympathy for is this gentleman who stood up for and saved the people in this store, defended the people in this store. I have sympathy for him because what's going to happen is he's going to have to go to court for this now. See, guys, when the shooting stops, and I've said this before. When the shooting stops, that's when the real fight begins. Now that guy has to answer, not for the shots that initially put the suspect down, but for the shots that those close-up shots that he put into the suspect after he was down and was subdued. Right? Renee Vogel Jr., what you say? He says, I will argue is once the criminal turned his back to leave, it wasn't necessary to make the shots. I agree. However, we don't know if it was his intent to leave the store at that point in time. We don't know if he was leaving that store. We could speculate that, yeah, he probably was making a run for the door now, but we don't know. We don't know. We don't know if he was going to try something else. We don't know if he was going to get to that door and turn around and start shooting. We don't know. We don't know. We don't know. But you do make a good point. But I think that could still be justified because you're in, it's not like he was running. If this was outside and he was running, I got you. But like he's inside. We don't know what's going to happen. I think he still could have beat that. But these close-up shots that he took, he going to have to fight those in court. He going to have to fight those in court. Not only is he going to have to fight that in court, let's just say he beat the case. He's going to have to fight that in civil court if and when this guy's family comes for him. Then he's going to have to fight that in civil court. All right? Like, I'm not envious of this gentleman at all. He made a hard decision. He made a hard decision to take this man's life. Right? In my opinion, it's a hard decision. I don't know what it was in his head. He did that shit before. he did that shit before. I can't tell. He might have been, I don't know. He might have been MS-13 or something. Like he a old school. He a OG. He might be an OG. I don't know. Right? I don't know. You got some people talking about he been waiting for that his whole life and all this other shit. I don't envy him, man. I really don't. I really don't. So let's see. Saul says there was this one robbery where these young folk with a fake gun tried to rob a gas station and the security caught them and they yelled, "It's a fake, it's a fake," and the guard said, "Oh, mine's real." Jesus Christ. You know what I mean? Renee says zero sympathy for the robber. Yeah. You know what I mean? Why did he flee? Who fled? So you saying that the gentleman he took off, the guy that shot him? Who knows, man? Who knows? Maybe the guy that shot him, maybe his gun ain't legal. I don't know. Maybe he ain't got a legal gun. We don't know. I guess we'll find out soon, right? Toloco says he's Sicario. He might be. Shooter 305 says USCCA is a must for anyone who's packing. I agree. I agree. Let me see something. I got that shit in my wallet right now. Yeah. Boom. Bow. USCCA right there. Definitely. I keep that right between all of my my carry licenses. Cannon, do you have the other part of the video? That one speaks a lot of the shooter's state of mind. No, I don't. No, if you got it, send it to me. Send it to me. Yeah, they do. I forgot what I'm covered up to. I think I'm covered up to like 1 million or something like that. Yeah, it cover anybody in your house, not just yourself. It cover anybody that's in your household that got to take action against somebody. Let me see. Those last 2 shots were out of frustration of all the lawless bullshit that's going on in the country. Man was fed up. Hey, that's a good. That might be a good defense too. Might be a good defense too. Maybe that wasn't the first time he was involved in a robbery, or being robbed or whatever. You got a point. Maybe he just fucking had it. Maybe he just had it. Like, yo, fuck this, man. You know what I mean? But it's so much nonsense going on, man. These people get away with murder, right? Maybe he was frustrated. Maybe he's like, nah, you ain't getting away. You ain't getting away. You know what I mean? Now, like I said, I have no sympathy for the suspect, for the robber. None whatsoever. At all. Like I said, you play stupid games, you win stupid prizes. and yours was a couple of hot ones. And like I said, you know, the police, let's just say the police showed up and they'd have lit this nigga up. Talking at minimum 3 police officers with Glock 17s. 17 rounds per mag. You'd have been Swiss cheese. You'd been doing the bullet dance. You'd have been doing the bullet dance. But I think that the shooter was justified. I'm sorry. I think that the customer was justified in his shooting up until he walked up on him at close range and shot him. When he walked up on him at close range and shot him, at that point, I think he then became the aggressor, guys. He then became the aggressor, right? And that's what you got to understand when you're carrying a gun. That's why when I say I feel like it's a lot of work carrying a gun. I think it's more responsibility when you're carrying a firearm. And this is it, right? Let's just say this, right? In the state of Maryland, right? In the state of Maryland, this situation, right? It looks as if he's running, right? It looks as if he's running for the door. Let's just say he's trying to escape. Here in Maryland, he's trying to escape through this door. This gentleman immediately at this point is now the aggressor. Now you could argue in court that no, we didn't know if he was leaving. He was acting sporadic and he was waving the gun around. We didn't know what was going to happen. I had to take action. He could he might be able to beat that part. But technically, because it seems as if the suspect or the robber is running for the door, the customer is now the aggressor. He is now the aggressor. All right. Boom, boom, boom. The customer, the guy's down. Here, he's the aggressor. Aggressor. He was the aggressor the whole way through. Reaction PR says, word on the street is UA recruited him already. Maybe. That's the thing. I'm interested to see what happens if they drop the charges on him. You know, it could be a fed up judge in Texas, right? It could be a fed up jury. If he went with a jury of his peers, the jury could be fed up of all the nonsense going on in Texas. And they might side with this man. I might go with the jury. I might put my hands in the jury at this point. If it got that far. It may not even get this far. We're going to find out though. Right? So let's get to this real quick. Taco shop customer who shot and killed possible armed robber agrees to meet with HPD investigators, officials say.
Houston police are now wanting him for questioning. Thank you for joining us. I'm Keith Garvin.
Good evening. I'm Daniela Guzman. Well, police are looking for this man who they say shot and killed a robbery suspect at a taco shop in Southwest Houston last night. Let's go to KPRC2's Bryce Newberry. He was at that location on South Gessner and Bel Air, where he is learning whether this shooter could be in any trouble for this.
Houston police tell us no charges have been filed, but they do still want to talk to the man who fired nearly a dozen rounds inside this taqueria, all caught on video. Like a scene out of a movie, this man masked in black walked into the Ranchito number 4 on South Gessner late Thursday night, pointing a gun and demanding customers empty their wallets. They threw cash to the floor as the robber went one by one. But as he came back by the man sitting at table number 4, 9 gunshots rang through the small restaurant. The robber stopped at the door and dead on the rug. Is there anything about that conduct that might have been out of line?
The person he shot was in the process of committing robbery, and consequently his use of force in defense of himself or innocent third parties is completely justified in Texas.
We took the video to former HPD officer, now lawyer Thomas Nixon, who says it helps determine Nixon, who says,
innocent third parties is
Sorry,
completely
guys.
justified, and consequently his use was in the process of committing robbery, and consequently his use of force in defense of himself or innocent third parties is completely justified in Texas.
We took the video to former HPD officer, now lawyer Thomas Nixon, who says it helps determine without testimony the shooter's basis.
It is a justifiable homicide, but the grand jury in Harris County is going to want to know all parties involved in a homicide so that they can investigate.
After the shooting, surveillance video shows the shooter walk up to the robber and recover the stolen cash. He then realizes the robber's gun is fake, throwing it at the wall in anger before pouring a beverage on him and walking out. While there wasn't anything illegal,
Holy shit. Hold
about
up.
the shooter leaving the scene,
Hold up.
he then realized
Investigate.
after the shooting, surveillance video shows the shooter walk up to the robber and recover the stolen cash. He then realizes the robber's gun is fake, throwing it at the wall in anger before pouring a beverage on him and walking out. While there wasn't anything illegal about the shooter
Yo.
leaving the scene, police do
You see his truck?
still want to talk to him. These photos show him and the truck he drove. Police would also like to talk to any of the other customers who were here last night but then walked out after getting their money back. On the Southwest side, I'm Bryce Newberry, KPRC 2 News.
Bro. Oh, that's the clip you sent me? I appreciate you, bro. I didn't know that was it.
54 now has the newest hardwood tile laminate.
Pause that. Sorry about that, guys. So you heard it. So now we don't know how it's going to happen, how it's going to play out with the grand jury or in court, right? But you hear the, former police officer turned lawyer. He said, yo, that's a justifiable homicide. What he did was he defended the life of not only himself, but the other people in that store. Sad part is it was a fake gun. He was angry. The customer, the good Samaritan, was pissed. He was pissed. He threw the gun against the wall, then poured a drink on this dude and walked out. Bruh. It's a sad set of circumstances. I don't have any sympathy for the robber. Sorry, I don't. Now, grand jury might look at this and say, well, you tried to rob the store. I don't care if your gun was fake. You wanted people to think it was real. People thought it was real, and you caught 9 rounds. Now, personally, the last, I would say, 3 shots was not necessary. Don't know if I would have made them shots. Pretty sure I wouldn't have made them shots, especially if he was already down and out. Those 3 shots were out of pure malice and maybe frustration about what's going on. The shooter then recovered the money from the good Samaritan then recovered the money from the robber and gave it back. Good on him. We'll see how it goes. But before before people start to, cast stones at this good Samaritan, I'm gonna call him from now on. Let's remember a young lady whose boyfriend. Remember we covered this story too. Remember the firefighter who said something to the dude in the gas station who was accosting the cashier, and they got into a fight, and then the dude went and got his gun out the car. And he went and confronted the firefighter, and the firefighter proceeded to whoop his ass, even with the gun. And the guy that went and got the gun's girlfriend took the gun from him and shot the firefighter. And they let her off. She didn't serve any time. She didn't go to jail, any of that, because they said she was defending the life of her boyfriend when he was the aggressor and he's the one that went and got the gun. Shot that firefighter point blank. when the firefighter was the one defending his life from her boyfriend who had the gun? Remember that? If that girl got off, then this man need to get off too. If that girl got off, this dude need to get off too. Period. Penny Pup, what's up over on Rumble, says he didn't need to shoot that many. I agree. He didn't need to shoot that many times. Penny Pup, the robber was in the wrong, but he was down and the guy shoots that last one kind of messed up. I agree. I don't know where the guy's head it was at. I'm sure he'll be on some, I'm sure after everything's said and done, we're going to hear a bunch of, he probably be interviewed a couple of times. Maybe we'll find out. Like I said, I wouldn't have made them shots. You know what I mean? Penny Pope says he could swing around and shoot, but not likely. I'm not going to say it's not likely because I've seen it. I've seen it. Dudes will run and then turn around and start shooting again. He might have got to the door and turned around, even though now we know the fucking gun was fake. But let's just say here in Baltimore, right? You get robbed mask off in Baltimore. You get robbed mask off, mask on most times in Baltimore. They might shoot you anyway. They might act like they walking away and they'll turn around and shoot you. That's what happens. You know, that's why that retreat and shit. If you pulled a gun with the intent on hurting somebody, or you pulled a gun to make somebody think you was gonna hurt them, I think you forfeit all that shit. That's my opinion. I think you forfeit all of that. You don't get to run away. You started some shit. But I can respect your opinion though. DMW, what's up, buddy? What's up, yo? Says salute Cannon. What's going on? Jamstone says, just got here. Can you show the original video again? Sorry. Yeah, give me a few minutes. I'll show it to you. California 100 says Cannon on the front of Rumble desktop page. Is that right? Oh shit. Anyway, shit. If you new, hit that like, hit that Rumble. If you like, hit that. If you here and you new, hit that like, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification icon. It'll let you know when I got new content coming out. Shit. Share the stream, y'all. Let people know we live. Help me get to the I want to get on the editor's pick and some more shit. That's where I want to be. Get me on the editor's pick and some more. I appreciate that. Anyway. So check it, guys. I'm going to give you some tips on what to do in a situation like that, right? Not just this situation. This is a situation where you carrying a gun, you out in public. And let's just say you see some guy robbing a woman at gunpoint in an alley. Shit like that, right? And you decide to take action to save this lady's life. You draw your gun. Hey, what are you doing? Freeze. Whatever you're going to say. And this guy turns and he points his gun at you. You are well within your rights to lay his ass down. And I hope you do. Let's just say the guy points the gun at the woman. And he doesn't listen to your freeze, drop the gun. You're well within your right to lay his ass down. Right? In defense of your life and the life of others. Right? Let's say you say freeze, drop the gun. He sees you and he runs the other way. You cannot then give chase and gun that man down. You are now the aggressor in that situation. And because you are considered the aggressor in that situation, you will have to go to court and fight that case. And good luck to you. Because that guy was no longer a threat as he was running away from you. You chasing him makes you the aggressor and makes you in the wrong. Right? What was that story where the kid went into the house? He was jogging through the neighborhoods apparently, and he went into the house, and then the McMichaels came out and fucking went Dukes of Hazzard style, jumped in the fucking pickup truck. What was his name? Ahmaud Arbery. Okay? Let's take that That's a perfect case. Ahmaud Arbery allegedly jogging through a neighborhood, goes into a house under construction, looks around. You got the McMichaels across the street, see him do it. They come out, they confront him, they yell some shit at him. We don't know what he said. Apparently he was saying some crazy shit, right? Ahmaud Arbery takes off running down the fucking street. In the eyes of the law, he is no longer a threat. If he ever was a threat in the first place, he is no longer a threat. The McMichaels jump in their car and they chase him. At that point, the McMichaels became the aggressor. The other guy that got time with them too, he was now the aggressor because they were all chasing Ahmaud Arbery. The McMichaels got ahead of him and tried to head him off at the pass. He had the other guy still behind him. Ahmaud Arbery said, fuck it, I'm fighting for my life. He get into the fight with the McMichael son with the shotgun. As the father is shooting from the bed of the truck. Again, father shooting from the bed of the truck, think he's defending his son's life. But he wasn't defending his son's life. In the eyes of the law, he was the aggressor. Why was he the aggressor? Because the Ahmaud Arbery already was running away from them and they chased him down. At that point, you are the aggressor, period. Not only are you're the aggressor, you have the monopoly on power. Ahmaud Arbery gets struck with the shotgun slug to the chest. He dies. Now, McMichael's the son. They try to argue self-defense, but you can't argue self-defense in that situation. You know why? Because you guys chased him down the street. He was running away from you. Now, if you wanted to follow him and observe and report until the police officers caught up with you, you're more than within your right to do so. But you took the law into your own hands. He fought you. You shot him. It was not self-defense. It was, you were the aggressor. There was no self-defense in there. He was defending. At that point, he was in defense of his life. See, those lines, guys, those lines are really thin, right? Where you're the aggressor. You know what I'm saying? We even see how fucked up it is with Trayvon Martin, George Zimmerman. The 911 lady, she said, fall back. Essentially, for lack of a better term. She said, fall back. He still pursued him, Trayvon Martin. Caught up to Trayvon Martin. Proceeded to get his ass whooped by Trayvon Martin. Trayvon Martin was beating the shit out of him, apparently. At that point, Zimmerman felt fear for his life, and he shot Trayvon Martin and killed him. Unfortunately, in that situation, as George Zimmerman was fearing for his life because he was getting his ass whooped, unfortunately, Trayvon Martin was the aggressor, and the stand your ground law in Florida allowed George Zimmerman to take action with his firearm. I think it was a poor use of the law. I do agree with stand your ground. But I think that George Zimmerman was the initial aggressor, period, and forced Trayvon Martin to defend himself from him. However, because Trayvon Martin was the person that threw the first punch, made him the aggressor, unfortunately. Like I said, these lines are really, really thin, guys. They're murky. The waters are murky with that. This gentleman here with the taco shop. The taco shop. This guy's robbing the store. He seems sporadic and he gets shot. So, in watching it again, he don't look like he was leaving. He don't look like he was leaving. When that bullet hit his ass, that's when he tried to run. So he wasn't leaving. So he was still the aggressor at that point. He was taken down. However, here is where I think excessive force happened. Now, Do I have sympathy for this robber? Like I said, I do not. I do not have sympathy for this robber whatsoever. He got what was coming to him. However, the Good Samaritan here took out the robber, and he recovered the stolen goods from the robber and gave them back to the victims. I'm gonna say this though. He lucky he in Texas. He lucky he in Texas because he may not have to. He might not have to fight this. He might not have to fight this. So you have some people like, well, he had a toy gun. He had a fake gun. So what? Nobody in that store knew he had a fake gun. The only person that knew he had a fake gun was him, the robber. The Good Samaritan didn't know he had a fake gun until after the fact. But like I said, salute to this Good Samaritan. He did what he was supposed. He did what he had to do to save those, to protect those people. And you get another Don DeMarco for returning the money. Tyler Durden is a stupid name. Says the gray areas here are why we have juries. What's up? We got Emmanuel Presley in the building. YV says, shit, keep the sights on them just in case they want to turn around. Like I said, I don't have any sympathy for the robber, guys. I don't have any sympathy for him. I think the gentleman in the store, the Good Samaritan, heart was in the right place. He wanted to defend these people, and he did. Adrenaline is high. A lot of the shit he might have did was out of adrenaline. Could have been out of frustration because of what's going on in the world today with Joe Biden's America, with all these prosecutors and DAs letting people go. Let's just say this guy would have got caught, right? And they'd have took him to jail. How much money do you think he had on him? Couple $100? Couple $100? They probably would have let him out the next day. Now, I'm not saying that we should be out here acting like judge, jury, and executioner. But I think we have a duty to defend the people who can't defend themselves. My question is, what you would have did in his situation? What would you have done in his situation? Jabari Judah with the $5 super chat. I appreciate you. Through social media, the powers that be have normalized the M word and are conditioning us for the real Hunger Games. The odds aren't going to be in our favor. Oh man. Yeah, so I don't know what's going on in Brazil, bro. I don't know what's going on in Brazil. I know Bolsonaro, his supporters ran up in the Capitol. Man. I don't know what the deal is though, but I'm gonna tell you where you need to get that information from. You need to go to Council on Future Conflict. That's where you get your information from for that right there. I'll show you. Hold on. I'm sure they're gonna be talking about this tomorrow. Let me see. These gentlemen right here. What's up, Handy Bob? Right here, Council on Future Conflict. Or they changed the name to just Future Conflict. You want to go subscribe to Future Conflict? Those guys right there, they keep their ear to the ground. They know more about what's going on abroad than anybody does. You want your information on what's going on with the crane and all that, you go holler at them. You want to know what's going on in Brazil, you go holler at them. You want to know what's going on in Mexico, you go holler at them. I was just on that channel Friday, matter of fact, on their live stream. he was chopping it up about Mexico and a couple of other things. So yeah, go over to Future Conflict's YouTube channel. They're also on Rumble. Also Future Conflict on Rumble. I guarantee tomorrow they're gonna be talking about this. I think they go live at 1:00, but I'm not necessarily sure what's going on in Brazil. I just heard about it on Unk's channel, so I got to go do some research on that, and maybe I'll talk about it a little bit. But if you really want to know what the deal is over there, especially because I know they got people on the ground in Brazil. They got people on the ground in Brazil right now. I'm pretty sure they're gonna have on tomorrow to discuss what's going on. So, like I said, go over to Future Conflicts channel. Handy Bob says, buddy of mine that I work with is from Brazil. Basically, one of the Supreme Court justices is like super corrupt and issues like 800 arrest warrants for Bolsonaro supporters. That's crazy. It's funny that shit happened on the weekend of Juneteenth. That's crazy. Toloco says they have been calling the Mexico situation for months now. CFC know they stuff. Yeah. Yep. Exactly. So, like I said, anyway, guys, so check it, right? I want to talk about these young athletes, man, collapsing on, the field of play. So we're going to take it over to Rumble for a Rumble exclusive. We're going to take it over to Rumble for a Rumble exclusive. So check it. I'm going to drop the link in the chat. Rumble got a facelift too. I like it. Rumble got a facelift. So I just dropped the link in the chat. Head on over to Rumble, guys. Hit that Rumble button. Hit that thumbs up or that plus button on the way in, please. Please. That's 26 over here on YouTube. I want to see all 26 of y'all over there on Rumble. Let's discuss this. These kids, man. These young kids out here collapsing on the field of play, man. And nobody wants to call a spade a spade. Just saying. So like I said, head on over to Rumble right now, guys. Let's get those numbers up over on Rumble. Hit that plus button. Hit that thumbs up button over on Rumble. Get them likes up over on Rumble, please. So there's 21 over on Rumble right now. I want to see 20 likes. Get 20 thumbs up, please. Anyway, it's a wrap over here for YouTube. It's Cannon Hotep saying stay safe, stay well, stay strapped. Get some carry insurance, guys, because when the shooting stops, that's when the fight really begins. I'll holler at y'all.
So relax and take notes.